Okay, so once again, thank you so much for the continuously subscription in our YouTube channel. Again, please do like and share of our YouTube. And once again, congratulations to all of us since in just 1 month or 2 months, nakabot na tayo ng 110 subscribers. Thank you for the continuous support, guys. So now let's continue our video 3 lessons on the legal basis for professional teachers. I'm here in Article 7. Article 7 states more on school officials, teachers, and other personnel, school official, and his subordinate. So let's start. So for Article 7, Section 1, it is said that at all times show professional courtesy, helpfulness, and sympathy towards teachers and other personnel. So as teacher, we should always show professional courtesy, help to other teachers, and sympathy to our co-teachers and other personnel. Section 2, cooperative responsibility to formulate policies or introduce important changes in the system at all levels. So we should cooperate responsibly. Section 3, school officials shall encourage and attend the professional growth of all teachers, recommend them for promotions, giving them due recognition for meritorious performance, and allowing them to participate in conferences and training programs. So it is understood that the school officials shall encourage the teachers to attend seminars, also giving them recognition for meritorious performance. Siya. Now, let's going to entertain some of the question. How shall the state enhance the right of teachers to professional advancement? So how is that? So the answer would be by what? By providing trainings and seminars to teachers, by providing sabbatical leave to teachers, and by giving scholarship to teachers. Actually, that's all is our happiness. Another question here, what are the rights of a public school teacher? What is our rights? So, this answer covers Section 4 of Republic Act 4670, states that no probationary period preceding regular appointment. Diba? Kapag regular na, there should be no probationary period. Another one, consent for transfer. There should be a consent. Safeguards in disciplinary procedure. That's it. Administrative charges shall be heard by a committee. Teachers shall not be required to render more than 6 hours of actual classroom teaching. Nandito pala yun, covered by Republic Act. There should be an additional compensation. Salary grade, gradual progression from a minimum to a maximum salary by means of regular increments, granted automatically every 3 years, satisfactory maximum level within 10 years. What else? Special hardship allowance, yung mga malalayong paaralan. Deductions prohibited. It's up to the teacher, no? Medical examinations and treatment. O, yan dapat yung may avail ng teachers. Compensations for injuries. Physical and nervous strain is recognized as compensable occupational disease. Study leave. Freedom to organize. Discrimination against teachers prohibited. Ano pa? Security of tenure, productivity incentive benefit. O, yan yung tatanggap natin teacher. Year-end bonus and cash gift in service as of October 31 each year. O, yan. Another question is, how will the state ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talent? Ang ganda ng mga tanong. So the answer would be through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment. Ano pa? Now let's proceed. Let's continue Article 7, Section 4. No school officials shall dismiss or recommend for dismissal a teacher or other subordinates except for a cause. So we cannot recommend, no, or even the school official can dismiss a teacher. Section 5, public school teachers are employed in accordance with pertinent civil service rules. if qualified, subsequent permanent tenure in accordance with existing laws and provided further that they are duly registered and licensed professional teachers. So, again, the public teachers, school teachers, should employ in accordance pertinent with the civil service. We should be a duly registered and licensed professional teacher. Now, the last article is Article 8, the teacher and the learners. So, Section 1, a teacher has the right and duty to determine the academic marks and the promotion of learners in the subject they handle. So, that is very important. The advisor or the teacher should have the right and duty to determine the academic mark. Second, so for Section 2, interest and welfare of learners are of first and foremost concern and shall deal justifiably and impartially with each of them. So our responsibility as teachers that we should priority the interest and welfare of our learners. Section 3, under no circumstances shall a teacher be prejudiced or discriminate against a learner. So bawal sa mga teachers yung bullying of the students. Section 4, shall not accept favors, please take note, or gifts from learners, their parents, or other in their behalf in exchange for requested concessions, especially if undeserved. So sa mga teachers, bawal talaga magtanggap ng mga gifts from the students or even from the parents. So here is a sample case in section 2 and 3. May a principal of a public high school refuse the enrollment of a student due to sex, ethnic grouping, or religion of the child or his parents? So what would be the answer? So pwede ba mag-reject ang school having enrollment? The answer would be no, because such refusal will violate the rule of rights or the rights of the student to have quality education as provided in Section 1, Article 14 of the 1987 Constitution, and it would also violate his constitutional right to be accorded equal protection of the laws granted or guaranteed under Section 1, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution to all Filipino citizens. So, very clear. So, Jepoy Biala is watching. Hello, Jepoy. Shout out. Another case from Section 2 and 3. Mr. P. of Bulubundukin High School refused to admit a student for not being a resident of the said barangay where the school is located. So, is it legal? Ano kaya? The answer would be no, because such a refusal will violate the constitutional right of the child to have equal or quality education. So kahit may nakatirang estudyante, so dapat tanggapin talaga sa school. Another sample case. Mr. L is a principal of Masabahin Elementary School, limit the enrollment to 60 pupils per classroom and give priority to residents over non-residents of the barangay. Is it valid and acceptable? The answer is yes, because limiting enrollment is in consonance with Deputy Order number 32 series of 2003, provided that the principal will give assistance to the student to enroll in nearby school so as not to deprive him of his right to education. Now let's continue with Article 8. Section 5 shall not accept directly or indirectly any remuneration from tutorials other what is authorized for such service. So it's very clear. Section 6, evaluation of the learners must be based on work only in merit and quality of academic performance. Yun lang ang basihan paano mag-grade ng estudyante. Section 7, where mutual attraction and subsequent love develop between teacher and learner, the teacher shall exercise at most professional discretion to avoid scandal, gossip, and preferential treatment of the learner. So kung pwede, wala, no involvements about love. Article 8, the teacher and the learner. Section 8, shall not inflict corporal punishment on offending learners, nor make deductions from their scholastic ratings as a punishment for acts which are clearly not manifestation of poor scholarship. So there should be no punishment or yung babaan ng grade ng mga estudyante as a punishment. Not good. Section 9, a teacher shall ensure that conditions contribute to the maximum development of learners are adequate, and shall extend needed assistance in preventing or solving learner problems and difficulties. Dapat the teacher shall ensure the condition to contribute maximum development to the learner. Now, Article 9, the teacher and the parent. Section 1, establish and maintain cordial relations with the parents and shall conduct himself to merit their confidence and respect. So, as a teacher, we should have the correct and harmonious relationship with the parents. Section 2, shall inform parents through proper authorities of the progress and deficiencies of learner under him, exercising utmost candor and tact in pointing out the learner deficiencies. The parent should inform about the performance of the student. Section 3, a teacher shall hear parent complaints with sympathy and understanding and shall discourage unfair criticism. So please take note with that. We should hear complaints from the parent. So Article 10, the teacher and the business. Ito naman, hindi kayo mag-online selling. Section 1, a teacher has the right to engage directly or indirectly in legitimate income generation provided that it does not relate to or adversely affect his work as a teacher. So, pwede naman pala mag-business as long as our work is not affected. Section 2, maintain a good reputation with respect to the financial matters, such in the settlement of his debts and loans in arranging satisfactorily his private financial affairs. That's clear. Article 10, Section 3, that no teacher shall act directly or indirectly as agent of or be financially interested in any commercial venture which furnish textbooks and other school commodities in the purchase and disposal of which can exercise official influence. What else? Except only when an assignment is inherently related to such purchase and disposal, provided they shall be in accordance with existing regulations, provided further that members of duly recognized teacher cooperatives may participate in the distribution and sale of such commodities. Next, so Article 11 to 18 will be uploaded to my fourth video. So once again, thank you for listening. God bless.